Hi, are you someone who tends to get walked over and walked on and just you start doing everything people want you to do or be exactly what you think or people say they want you to be? Do you have any boundaries and do you follow these boundaries? Well, I I never had boundaries and I did like pretty much what I always felt people wanted me to do and expected me to do and never communicated any of my wants or needs. So, we're going to talk about that today. It's always a work in progress. If you don't know me, my name is Roberta Staklinski. I'm from 50 Plus WellFit. I am a self care and wellness coach, and I work with women who are near or are 50 and over and just want to start living the life they want to live and to be who they are and just be happy, getting out of this stuck life and being who you are meant to be. So, first of all, before we go into this, I'd like you to like that little thumbs up, please, and so that others can find my channel and can watch my videos. And subscribe, ring that little bell, and subscribe to my new videos that come out, and then you could catch up on all the old ones. So, okay, boundaries. I was never a boundary person. I am now, but again, like I said, it's always a work in progress. It's something that you have to work on. And a lot of times you forget, like I tend to anyway. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to set up this boundary. But then when something happens, I forget about it. So first of all, what I will say to do is when you notice something bothers you, write it down. Get a boundary journal or something on your phone that you could write down when something bothers you. And then look at it and then say, okay, do I need a boundary for this? Is this something that requires a boundary? And write up a boundary. And it could be communicating with this person, sitting down and talking with them, or telling them, okay, I'm no longer, if you have a friend or someone who calls you at 11:30 at night because any little thing is a tragedy and they don't know what to do and can't make a decision and want you to answer, give them an answer of what to do. You know what? Just start saying, you know what? I'm turning my phone off, or block them at such and such a time, or just tell them, you know what? Text me first. If you're willing, start there. I will answer if it is genuinely an emergency, but I want my rest or I want to have me time after such and such a time. And you know what? Set up that boundary and stick with it again. So start with that, writing down things that bother you, and does it need a boundary, and what could that boundary be? So start out with that. Then that's going to help you become more aware, self-aware of your wants and needs. There may be things that bother you that you never really paid attention. And you probably will even notice like there being similarities, oh, I tend to, this sort of thing tends to bother me. And then you're learning about yourself too. And maybe one boundary will help take care of all of those one type of things. You never know. But becoming more self-aware of who you are, what bothers you. We tend our whole lives as women, we have taken care of everyone else, being caregivers and to parents or other elderly family members or ill family members, raising kids, maybe grandkids too, just always taking care of everyone and doing what other people want us to do for them, or it's what we think they want us to do. There's two things there. Do you need to set up boundaries for yourself or for them when you're around them? Because a lot of times we just think people are expecting things from us and don't know that it bothers us. People aren't mind readers. We have to communicate to them when something bothers us. And if you don't tell them, they may have no clue. How are they supposed to know it bothers you unless you hold it in for so long and then just, start screaming and hollering instead of saying something when it bothers you graciously, just saying, you know what, that really bothers me, or you know what, I'm really sorry I said yes to this, but I really can't do it. I'm just, I'm overwhelmed with everything I need to do. I just have to say no to a couple things. I had to say no to a friend that really bothered me. I mean, I had said yes, that I would help her out, and I did a couple times, and I just couldn't do it. I was uncomfortable because I was around a lot of smoke, and it's unhealthy for me, and I just couldn't handle it. I just cannot handle smoke at all. And I mean, it killed me, but I had to say, I am so sorry, but I can't do this. And I was gracious about it, and she knew that I genuinely just couldn't do it. And she was very gracious back, very understanding. And you know what? That means so much more, and probably made us closer. And that's what you want to be able to do, is just express your wishes. And sometimes you can at that moment. Sometimes you need to think about it and say, how can I handle this? What kind of boundary can I make to deal with this? And again, some are situational. If there's an emergency and you say, nope, I told that person I'm not doing this, can't do it, then that's when you have to think, okay, am I willing to bend? It's an emergency. You want to be there for someone if there's an emergency, but that's up to you. But a lot of things are situational. A lot of them are spur of the moment. Okay, do I do this even though it bothers me, or am I going to follow the boundaries that I made? Because the more you make boundaries and follow boundaries, you're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to feel a lot stronger. You're going to have more confidence. A lot of times why we don't set up boundaries is because we feel like we're not worthy of it. And we're just so used to doing everything. I mean, I think a lot of me was just a habit, but it also was that I didn't feel strong enough. I didn't feel like, who am I to tell them don't do that, or don't say that to me? I mean, who am I to do that? Well, you're you. And you need to have that confidence. If you don't have that confidence, self-esteem, and know that you are enough, and that's what it comes down to, is you feeling like you're not enough, you're not worthy. And that's a whole nother thing. That's my new program that's coming up, is I Am Enough. And just, you have to gain that confidence. And sometimes you just have to jump in, or take my program that will teach you that. It's a step-by-step process. And just, aren't you worth it? You are worthy. And a lot of times people can't say that. And if you feel like you're not worthy, you don't have the self-esteem to say, who am I to tell them this? You need to work on that. So you will get to learn more about yourself, and you will gain self-esteem by making boundaries and sticking to them. It feels good to be able to not, if you feel pushed around by what people say or do, and you have always followed that, you are going to feel very strong and very empowered when you make a boundary and you stick to it and say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, that really bothers me. That isn't me, and I just can't do it anymore. I mean, you will feel so empowered. It's great. I mean, you suddenly are standing tall and strong, and I did it. As my grandson would say, I did it. And you're growing. I mean, we are always meant to grow, and that is wonderful. So boundaries are important to improve relationships, or maybe end relationships if that's what it needs. But the relationships that are important, they will change, and you will see them change for the better. And people will respect you. And if they don't respect you for your boundaries, are they worth having in your life? I mean, are they a true friend or a true, caring person to you? You have to think about that too. There's a lot of things that come into play when writing up boundaries and thinking about it. But it will improve your life. Again, self-esteem. It will improve relationships that are meaningful relationships. The fact that people will respect you and respect your wishes makes you feel even more self-esteem. You feel more empowered again. And you know what? It keeps you healthy. I mean, you don't have that stress of holding things in and just doing things you don't feel comfortable doing. I mean, why should you do that? Why do we do that? I don't know. It's the way we were raised, I guess, but I don't think my family ever raised me like that. I think it was more society that you get stuck in and you start following. And you are worthy. You are enough. You are worth living the life you want to lead. And boundaries do that for you. You will feel so much healthier, and like this weight has been lifted off your shoulders. And it takes time. It takes it's always a work in progress. Some of the boundaries, no. Some are easy. Start with easy ones. That might just be a little like, oh, I can't do that. Maybe just say no one time a week. Start with that, because that's a boundary in itself, is saying no. Not overwhelming yourself to do everything for everyone else. Prioritize. If it's really important and it's something for your kids or family that someone really needs you, they're ill or something, that's one thing. Again, situational. So do it for your health. Do it to decrease stress. Do it to decrease inflammation in your body, because you're always in that fight or flight, and that causes inflammation due to increased adrenaline and cortisol. It's not healthy at all. And by making boundaries, you're going to notice you are so much more relaxed. You're not waiting for, certain people to do certain things that always bother you. And if they do, just say, hey, whoa, sorry. People that get in your face, well, step back. Or someone who says, oh my God, you're not dyeing your hair anymore? Ooh, you look so old. Sorry, not doing it anymore. This is me. You don't see it much on video, but I have gray, and you know what? It's going there. I'm not dyeing my hair. I might get some highlights, but you know what? I'm getting older, but I feel great. And why put that excess crap in my body that I don't need? So that's what I said. No, I think I'm gonna go gray. We'll see what happens. See what it looks like. Get some highlights, and that's me right now. I don't want to put extra chemicals on my body or in my body. And you could be gracious about it. You could be gracious about it. Times that deserve a gracious response, but sometimes you have to be more stern. Do this for your self-esteem. Do it for your health. Just do it for you. Make those boundaries, stick with them. It will change your life. It really will. It will empower you. Truly will empower you. So, again, before I go, like that button, please, and subscribe to my channel. You could go to my website, www.wellfitways.com. Sign up for my newsletter, and you can see my blogs there. And check out my blog. I just posted one on boundaries, and goes into a little bit more detail. And check that out, and you can check out my new programs that are coming out, or if you want to work with me one-on-one. So make it a great day. Set up one boundary today, just one. And just say one no. Just one no. A gracious no. I'm sorry, I really just cannot do that. Try it. Try it. You'll like it. It really is relaxing and empowering. So make a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.